Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love. I am so glad to be able to come before you today. And I know that normally I have a topic about what's going on in the city or what's going on pretty much in relationships, different things like that. But who is that? Hey, Vice Mayor. But today we want to talk about just giving thanks for what we have, giving thanks for, different things that we take for granted. Now, someone might come in, my assistant might come in, and she can just join us when we get here. This is not a call-in today's show, but you can talk to me with the comments, and we can go back and forth that way. Let me put my glasses on so I can see you. But I just want to say that we never know who's watching us. We never know what they're thinking. We cannot always assume that, like most of us like to say, that people are haters. Everybody isn't hating on you or me. Everybody isn't disliking you or me. Some people are supporting you, and they may be supporting you in silence. So you never know. That's why we cannot come to assumptions that this, that, or the other is going on, because we never know. We have to really be careful how we treat other people, because sometimes we slap our blessings away. We slap our blessings away because we want to assume what somebody is thinking. We want to assume what someone is doing. And sometimes that person that is so quiet, that person over there in the corner, is watching you because they're trying to see if they can trust you. They're trying to see if you're the type of person that they want to put their name behind, their money behind, their support behind. And sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot because we do not realize that everybody doesn't have something against us. Everybody doesn't. For example, today, I woke up this morning and I checked my email. Now, this is an email that I hardly use. It's one of my business emails. And so I don't check it often unless I'm really looking for something. And when I opened up that email, someone had sent me things for my campaign. I mean, valuable things for my campaign. And I just could not believe it. So I didn't know right off who this person was. So I'm searching the internet, and I'm searching this and I'm searching that. And so when I realized who this person was, I asked myself, why? Why would you reach out to me? Because we hardly ever talk. And when we see each other, we just speak, but we hardly ever talk. And my question was, why would this person do this for me? Because they actually did something valuable for me. And I'm like, why would they do this for me? And I wrote them back and thanked them. And, honestly, and I must be honest with you guys, it was so personal what they did that I was in tears. I was speechless. I could not control the tears from rolling down my face, because to feel the love that someone else had for me, someone who wasn't my family, someone who wasn't a close friend, but someone who was obviously influenced by what I do, to believe in me, to support me in the way that they did today. And they sent this email 6 days ago. 6 days ago. But I just got it today. I just read it today. And I mean, it just broke me down, because there are some good people in the world. There are people that are going to support you even when you don't know that you're being supported. Even when you don't know that they're rooting for you, that they're pushing for you. There are people out there that has your back. And just because you don't know who they are, it's not time to assume. We shouldn't assume that they don't. Just because they don't make any noise, we shouldn't assume that they don't support you or support me. Keep living a positive life. Keep letting people see you do things that you say you're going to do. Be about your word. Always. Listen, my grandmother used to always teach me, all you have is your word. If you tarnish your word, you have nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because money can go away. Those materialistic things can go away. But your word is your word, and people stand on your word. And if you tarnish that word, if you make that word no good, if you become a liar or be seen as a liar, you have nothing. All you have is your word. All you have is what you tell people you're going to do, and you do it. That's all you have. And so that is why I take pride. And when I say that I'm going to do something, I do it. And even when I reluctantly say I'm going to do something, I take pride in sticking with that. And I may tell you, listen, I really didn't want to go this route. I didn't want to support this. But because I told you I will, I'm going to do it. And that's what we have to do. Be about our word and always set an example of positivity. When I think about, this is a political season, and when I think about politics, I'm running for Portsmouth City School Board and here in Virginia. And so I think about so many times people give us their word about what they're going to do if we vote for them, if we give them our vote, what they're going to do. And then you turn around and they get it and they act like they're too good for us to even speak to. They act like they're too good to talk about the promise that they made when they asked for our vote. They act like that. And what we have to do, fellow citizens, is remember those who dropped the bomb on the word. Remember those who just downright lied to us. Remember those who got in there and act like they were superstars and they were too good to communicate with the citizens, as if their noses are up in the air and they're looking down on us. Remember these people when you go and vote. And if you want change, vote differently. That's what you got to do. You cannot continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome. And then you know what gets me? When we do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome, and then we have the same outcome, we are actually disappointed all over again. And we never look at the fact that we did the same thing that we did previously when we were disappointed. Do your research on these politicians. Pay attention to who told you they were going to do what. Pay attention to what they did in the past. Pay attention to the decisions that they made. Were their decisions the best decisions for the citizens when they made it? Or did they make a decision based on the fact that they could? Because I can. Because I can get away with it. Because it is what it is. Because I say it is. Did they make a decision like that? See, one thing about me, when I'm in a leadership position, yeah, I can make a decision and not give an explanation, but why would I? Why would I? If I'm truly making a decision that's for the betterment of the situation, why wouldn't I give an explanation? Because we're not talking to children, we're talking to voters, and voters are over 18 or 18 and over, and they're not considered children anymore. So we should give them an explanation of why we do things, not just because we can. We should give them an explanation, and I believe no matter where I am, where I'm working, what position I'm holding, if I make a decision, it comes with some sort of explanation why. I chose to do this because I'm afraid that if I do it this way, this will happen. This is why I will vote this way. Can you clarify this for me? These are the questions that a leader who is making decisions for other people should be asking. Okay? These are the type of consensus that leaders should be taking. But you should always be informed on why certain decisions have been made. Now, some things are cut and dry. I understand that. But some things aren't. And when I'm dealing with your money, you need to know where your money is. You need to know where it's going. You need to know how it's been, appropriated. You need to know that. It's not my place to keep it a secret. You need to know. And so what I'm saying is, when you're ready to vote for someone, and I'm not even right now on this episode, it's not about me. This is about when you're ready to vote for a politician. You need to do the background of that politician as far as whether they have been elected before, and if they were elected before, what did they do in their past tenure? What did they do? How did they decide certain things? How arrogant were they? Did they listen to the citizens, the wants of the citizens, the wants of the people who put them in that position? Or did they get in that position and ignore the people until it was time for them to run again? These are the questions that you need to answer, because when you put people in positions, you're hiring them to work for you. So how in the world do they ignore you after you hired them to work for you and make decisions for you? So these are the things. Yes, Miss Streeter, they ignored us. These are the things that you must consider when you are voting for someone, when you're ready to vote for someone. Come on in. These are the things you must consider. Come on. And we get ready to pick it right back up, y'all. But I'm about to show y'all why I'm about to fire her. But yeah, these are the things that, excuse me, y'all, we must consider when we're voting for people. We have to pay attention to what they're doing. And then, like, people that you don't know, pay attention to what they're saying. Are they consistent? Do they go over here and say one thing? Do they go over here with someone else and say one thing, trying to butter up the parties? See, you have to be consistent. That is why I am the candidate for all people, because I will be consistent. My yays are my yays and my nays are my nays. What I say, I mean. And because I have no personal gain in it, I can do that. Because all I want to do, and now on me, is be a member of the Portsmouth City School Board. I have no desire to ever be on city council. I have no desire to be a delegate. I have no desire to be a senator. I have no desire to be the governor. I have no desire to be the president. I have no desire to be anything but what I'm running for right now. So that's one thing that you can count on. So you don't have to worry about saying that she's trying to use this as a stepping stone. No, not at all. I am trying to make sure that our kids can get across that stage and be productive citizens and leaders in our city. Because when we're gone, someone has to walk in our shoes. Someone has to take care of me. And I want to make sure that I have planted the foundation for those someones to take care of us. See, I'm not the person that really want to go to a doctor that made D's. You understand? I don't want that. I want the doctor that I go to know his job and not pass because he, just slid through. And I want to make sure that our kids understand the importance of applying themselves, and also understand that they can do all things. They can do anything that they put their mind to. And so what I want to do is make sure that we prepare them properly. Everybody is not going to go to college. Let me tell you something. I may have 2 master's degrees, but that was not my avenue of approach in life. I did not want to go to college. I was forced to go to college. But my mother gave me 2 choices, college or the military. And when I went in the military, after they had stopped the ground war in Afghanistan, Desert Shield, Desert Storm is where I was headed. And they stopped the ground war. I love you too, Deanna. when I stopped the ground, when they stopped the ground war, they said that I would not be deployed to Desert Shield, Desert Storm. So in 1991, I went to Hawaii. And just a couple months after I got to Hawaii, my supervisor made me go to college. He gave me no choice, and I'm stuck like Chuck because I was like, I did not want to be in college. But it was the best decision that someone else had made for me. And I want to make the best decision for our children. And I know that one of the best decisions for our children is to make sure that there is a trade school within our school system, so they don't have to test to be approved to go to these additional trainings. It's right there. They can choose what they want to take, whether it's HVAC, whether it's electrician, plumbing. We need to connect. We got people out here that are willing and waiting to help train our kids. So even if we don't have a standalone trade school, we can start it within the schools. And they don't have to test to be a part of it. All they have to do is apply themselves and choose that course, and it will be accredited as well. I can't understand why we think our children are going to want to go to a school or get training and it's not accredited to them graduating. Their children, we have to think for them. These classes need to be accredited as well, but we need to make sure they're prepared to walk across that stage and then walk into a job. And I'm telling you, that is my goal. And I don't know, honestly, what I may have to do, because I'll probably be faced with some resistance. But if I have to go to Richmond, communicate with them in Richmond, that is what I will do, because let me tell you guys, I got time. I got time for our babies. I'm retired. I work a part-time position. I have time for our children. And God has truly blessed me. So that's what I want to talk about. Really, the blessings. Everybody, and I'm the type of person, I don't push my religion on anybody. But if you know me, I do a lot of stuff in the community. If you didn't catch the show, last week, I'm the first female commander of William H. Harrison Post 190 American Legion on Peace Street. I do a lot of stuff, there. But one thing about me, I truly, truly, truly care about our children. And I am truly, truly committed to serving my God. Now, I don't know what your religion is, and I don't even compare religion. I don't knock religions. You believe in who you want to believe. Now, if you're looking for, someone to serve, of course, I'm going to introduce you to the one that's been good to me. But I would never knock what you do, ever, because that's not about what I'm about. But you can talk about your God to me. It's not going to change my mind how I feel about mine, but I don't mind listening to you. And I hope you don't mind listening to me talk about my God, because he has been awesome. I remember when I was out there in the street. I remember when I was doing the things that I probably shouldn't have been doing. I remember when he really should have, thank you, Miss Streeter. I remember when he should have turned his back on me completely. I remember that. And I remember when I was at the Legion. See, I used to go to the Legion when I was a member back in 06, so something like 07. And I would go to the Legion and stay all night Saturday and go to church on Sunday. And what I would do is I would be on time at the Legion and I would be late for church, right? And so what I did was, one day I walked in and the pastor was like, "What you doing here so late?" And I said, "You really want to know?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I was at the Legion all night long." I said, "But it won't happen again." And it was at that time that I truly gave my life to Christ. It was at that time that I realized I could not serve two masters, because I was neglecting the one that was giving me all my blessings, right? So what I did was I regrew. And I think it was like 2 years later, I became a minister. That was 2010. 2010, so y'all count up the years. 2010, I became a minister, a licensed minister, and so I am still licensed. Not only am I licensed, I'm educated. I have a master's in religion about it, and I still go to the Legion because I am the commander of the Legion. So I have to support Legion functions, but I know who I serve. I don't serve the Legion. I serve my God, my Savior, the person that provides for me. And the people in the Legion knows who I serve. They know who I serve. Okay, so when you can go into these different places, these different atmospheres, and you show people who you are and to whom you belong to, you're doing something. And so my thing is, I'll never forget how I used to have a good time back in the day. But since I've been serving my Father, since I've been serving my Lord and Savior, y'all, I have had the best time. No one can take away the feeling that I get just to know that I'm okay. Amen. Just to know that He provides for me. Just to know that He protects me. I talked on the radio yesterday about Genesis, I think it was 7:16 or something, don't quote me, but when Noah built the ark, okay, and it talks about the dimensions of the ark. It talked about how wide it was, how long it was, and what it was built with, and all that good stuff. I mean, it just makes you think that He's going to build something that is going to protect everything in the world, right? But see, it also tells you God sealed the ark. God sealed the ark. Noah didn't seal the ark, which means something could have, seeped in. That it means the water could have came up in the ark. But God sealed the ark. And because God sealed the ark, nothing was coming in. They were protected and they were ready for what was about to come. So listen, no matter what you do has no effect until God seals it.
Amen.
You see,
He told them how to build it.
He gave them the instructions. You have to be obedient.
And you have to
follow.
listen.
Right. You have to follow the rules. You have to do what He asks you to do. See, because the word say, faith without works is dead.
Amen.
So you have to do the work, and you have to have the faith that He's going to see you through it. He's going to walk with you through it. He's going to protect you through it. So no matter what man says, God seals it. It doesn't matter who says they're going to do what. God seals it. And this year in 2022, God is sealing everything for me. Everything. And I am asking you, as under the sound of my voice, allow Him to seal everything for you. Trust Him. Speak positive things. Keep the faith and know that it's not done.
I said we touch and agree
until He seals it. It's not done until He seals it. Then when He seals it, you know you are protected. You know you are protected. And I thank God because I get so many people with what I do, guys. And I know you probably thinking like, big time and all that stuff. But in my mind, I am. In my mind, I'm big time, and for real, seriously, I get people calling me all the time. I get people see me on the street, stopping me on the street because, I do have a radio show as well. So a lot of people, it's going on 4 years. So a lot of people know me from the radio show. Thank you, Miss Deanna. A lot of people know me from the radio show, and a lot of people know me from this show, Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love. And I want to thank y'all for your support. I really appreciate it. And so what happens is, I get noticed a lot. People know me that I don't know. I have to be very careful how I behave. But I also get a lot of adversary. I get a lot of, what you would call, I don't like to call people haters, but what you would call haters, I get a lot of that too. And so what I have to do is, yes ma'am, school board mistreater, what I have to do is ignore it because the word tells us to resist temptation. And I'm a P-Town girl. I'm a P-Town. Listen, I'm a P-Town girl to heart. And the same way you respond out there, and the same way we respond on them streets back in the day, is sometimes it comes back. I want to respond the same way. But you know what? I would never want the eyes that are watching me to see me act that way. Because I want to come and show our kids that just because you was here one day, don't mean you have to stay there. You upgrade. You upgrade. You change your mentality. And you don't think like you used to think when you get grown. When I was a child, I thought as a child. I fought. I slapped people at, when they made me mad. I don't know how many leaves I knocked off your shoulder because I was just a bad girl. I was a bad girl, and the teachers didn't know it because they thought I was just the angel. But my mama knew. My mama knew I was terrible. But see, when you was a child, that's the stuff you do. When you grown, you think grown. You ignore that negativity. You ignore the fact that people gonna talk about you. You toilet tissue paper on your shoulders, or toilet tissue feelings like my grandma used to say. No more. You don't have that. You gotta be strong enough to walk by and say, okay, you think that about me. I'm gonna continue to push. I'm gonna give you something to talk about. I'm going to give you something to talk about. We don't have time to entertain the negativity. I don't have time to sit here and try to tell you who did what or who did this and how this person did. I don't care about that. You know why? Because my focus must remain on our future. Our kids are our future. Who else is going to take our place? We're not going to be here forever. We might not be in our right minds until we die. Somebody got to take our place. Somebody has to walk the walk. And we need to first consider that the school system should be the first impression of our children taking our place. And we're not considering that. I have a problem with the fact that they always cut school programs. I played the saxophone in school. I played the saxophone when I went in the military. I picked up a sax and was able to play it in church. I played the sax. Our kids not getting what we had.
I played the French horn. I mean...
And like with home ec.
Yeah.
That's where some of our kids learn to sew and cook and all. I mean, I don't know. I didn't take it. I was like a roughneck, so I didn't take all that girly stuff. I'm going to tell you that right now. But I did used to go by and eat their stuff. I'm like, when y'all cooking? And I go there and eat the stuff. But the thing is, that's where some of us, or, many of us only got our training from school on how to take care of our kids, how to sew. Like, can y'all imagine if we had home ec in school? You play French horn at Manor. Okay. I went to Manor too.
First horn.
When COVID first hit, it would have been our babies making those masks. It would have been our babies designing those masks. And can you imagine how their imagination would have been going? It would have been some terrible masks walking around here. We would have had some terrible masks.
I learned to make my first pocketbook in home economics.
Yeah. Fashion designers. You see what I'm saying? You teach them how to sew. You teach them how to put things together. And you teaching our boys and girls too. But normally it used to be boys that did shop. And you're teaching them how to do carpentry. And they making bed frames and different stuff like that from, original things where they can make money. You see what I'm saying? They're using their gifts. And our teachers and instructors have shown them how to enhance the gifts that's already within them. That is what I see in our children. That is what I see in our school system. Besides the fact we want to ensure that they're getting the education that they need. We want to ensure that they can read. We want to ensure that they know how to take care of them finances, that money that they're getting ready to get. Let me understand this too. Also, Miss Streeter, I understand the CTE programs too, but a lot of them, some of them are not even, they can't even get a credit point for them. And it's going to be difficult trying to convince a child to go to those programs and they're not going to get the credit for it. I was researching the other day, and I know some of them they can get credits for it with that organization. I can't call the name right now, but and it's good. I don't knock that at all. We send some of them to that program, and we send some of them to TCC, and then we have some going on in the schools. So we can't really miss our babies. They can't go to TCC, they can get it in the school. I'm for all of those programs. I don't knock anything. So, but I just want, and I know that even finances are taught in schools, but it's like an elective. I think it's like one unit. We need it to be more than one unit. We need it to be one of those concentrations, like where they're going to get tested on, like a SOL test, since they must take SOLs. That needs to be a SOL test. Our babies need to know how to invest. Just think about it, Miss Street. I'm not sure what year you were in high school, but I know, or was working out. But I know in the 80s, if you remember, Microsoft came out. I use this because I'll never forget when Microsoft came out. I was like, what is this thing? And I was like, I was working, and had I known about investing, I could have invested in the 80s in Microsoft, and right now I probably would be a millionaire. Okay, so why not teach our kids about this while they're young? You teach at Norcom, NHS, Norcom. Oh, okay, great. And I would love to talk to you, Miss Streeter. If you don't mind, I would definitely love to talk to you, because I like to get all information and get my facts together. I don't like to, have any mishaps about anything. But I know that the trade school is not here. I do know that. And that's what we need. But I want to teach. I want our kids. I can't teach them, but I want our kids to learn about how to invest their money, how to make legal money. And I think that would be good for them. And then the other thing is transparency, budget transparency. Come on, why would anybody want to hold back where that money went? You know what I'm saying? Tell the people where the money went. That emergency relief money, where did it go? Exactly. So that's the kind of thing. I don't have nothing to hide from you. Portsmouth, let me tell you something. I have nothing to hide. Y'all, if you watch me, you watch my stuff, transparency is what I'm all about. I don't have nothing to hide. I tell on myself. My mama say, you so crazy, you tell on yourself. Yes, I tell on myself. So I just want y'all to keep in mind, even if you don't vote for me, okay? All our votes collectively put together and not put together, those that we don't vote, we end up still voting as one. So please do your research. Pay attention to who you want to vote for. Pay attention to who you feel is good. Now, somebody's going to take care of me. So listen, I am going to cut this short, but I want to thank you for joining Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love. Miss Streeter, I thank you. I'm going to reach out to you, and I would love to talk to you, hear some of your concerns and some of your suggestions. Listen, I will see y'all in the AM. That's just another name. See you later. Another term for see you later. I'll see you in the AM. God loves you. I love you. Make sure you love yourself. Go on and love someone else until we shall meet again. May God bless you real good and keep you protected. Thank you for watching.